Hi guys, welcome to Bath Fizz and Foam. It's Monday, which means it's time for a Make With Me Monday. Hi, I'm so glad that you're here today. Today I'm going to be making, turn this light over here so you can see better. I'm going to be making some Pizza My Heart bath bombs. Now, I have already made the bath bombs for them, and I've done this project before, but I've never done it like this. And I'm very excited to show you how I'm gonna do it today. So, I have 2 drizzles. We're gonna start off with Amanda's basic drizzle. And this is actually in her book, Fun in the Tub. So if you don't have that book, it's a great book. So this is actually in her book, Fun in the Tub. Yay, comments. Amy says, hi, Amy. Trisha says, hi. Stephanie says, hi. And another Stephanie, 2 Stephanies, says, hello, Becky. Hi, guys. Yay, I'm so glad I can see comments this week. Okay, so this is Amanda's basic drizzle. It is in her book, Fun in the Tub. It's also in our drizzle e-guide, ebook, whatever that is. So that's the one we're going to start off with. So I'm going to pop it in the microwave and I'll be right back. And hold on, got to find the red I want to use, which is right here, ruby red, although that might be a little too dark, so maybe we'll get some. So here are the pizzas. Now I made these a while ago. So I made them a while ago. I thought about painting them, but they have a lot of little details on them, and that would just be like, although it's, are we connected again? Are we back connected? Let me real quick, while I have internet, say that I apologize so much if the connection is unstable or keeps failing. On Tuesday, so we had Make With Me Monday last week. I had COVID, so we didn't have Make With Me Monday for like 2 weeks. We had Make With Me Monday last week. I was feeling better. The Tuesday following that, we had an F3 and an F2. We had 2 tornadoes come through our area, and it was honestly. Are we back? What I was trying to say was, we had tornadoes come through here, wreaked havoc, some major catastrophic damage to our area. Our house is fine, our home is fine, our family is fine. So before you guys ask, we are fine, but our city is rickety wrecked right now, okay? And our cellular towers were affected. So we have had terrible service. So I'm so sorry. I tried to do face-to-face Friday. I was able to get 1 Zoom meeting in, and that went fine, but our face-to-face Friday, this Friday in the Patreon group, was really rough. I don't even know. I haven't even had the heart to go back and rewatch it to see how much was actually recorded. It was pretty brutal. This connection just kept dropping the entire time. So if that happens, I apologize, guys. We had 2 tornadoes come through here, and our city is like, I'm honestly, like, there are some people who just got power like a couple days ago. There might even be, I haven't checked our city city Facebook group in a few days, but there might still even be some people who don't have power. So having a poor internet connection feels like a very selfish thing to complain about, but it has been very frustrating, so I apologize if that happens. Okay. This is Amanda's basic drizzle. We are gonna make some pizza sauce. The reason I'm using this one first is because it's a little bit thinner, and then it thickens up over time, but it's gonna give me like a really nice thin pour. So we're gonna make our pizza sauce with this. Then I'm gonna use the quick and thick drizzle and drizzle that on top, so it has like kind of a buildup of more texture, and that's gonna be our cheese. And then let me start adding the stuff to this, and then I'm gonna show you how I'm gonna top these. I think you're gonna be impressed. Lucy says, so glad you're safe. We're getting in ice and freezing rain today and through tomorrow. Oh my gosh, well, you guys stay safe too. Like, it's 2023, she needs to chill the F out. I feel like 2023 is like, okay, we all complained about 2020 being a problem child. 2021, she also had her deal. 2022, 2023, she's calm down, okay? So, okay, so I added some polysorb 80, and I'm gonna use these. Do I not have a spoon? I do have a spoon. Okay. And one of the things, now, we say this in our Drizzle e-guide, but you can use, if you want, you can use just equal parts of cocoa butter to baking soda or cornstarch and create a basic drizzle, just like that. You don't need to add the extra stuff that we add, and a lot of people, they do their entire making career, they just do 50-50 baking soda and cocoa butter. But I found if I'm going to cover a large portion of my my bath bomb with a mix that has that kind of blend to it, I need to be careful because it can I need to be careful because it can tend to leave oil slicks on the in the tub, you know. So what I like about this recipe is these recipes is that they use surfactants and emulsifiers to help break up those oils. So you don't, I mean, obviously you don't have to use, you could use this idea without ever getting our Drizzle e-guide or Flynn in the tub or any of those things, okay? You could always do that. I like to offer options to you. Martha says, glad you're safe. Thank you. Kathy says, please don't worry. The photos I showed explain so much. Yeah, I shared more about it in the Patreon group. I showed, gosh, just like a lot of pictures from our town. There's some really just like kind of heartbreaking before and after pictures where you can see, you know, specific areas, specific houses, before and after, but it was pretty bad. Not gonna lie, it's pretty bad. So thank you, Kathy, I appreciate that. Okay, so this is a little bit thicker than I wanted it to be. It's not too bad, but I wanted it to be a little bit thinner. So I'm actually going to add just a little bit extra polysorbate 80, and that can help thin a recipe down a little bit, a drizzle recipe. And let's drizzle. Okay, put that on there. Okay, I can't wait to show you the toppings. So the toppings are gonna be made with, I don't need the sauce to be like everywhere. I just want some sauce like specifically on the edges and right here where the crust line is. The toppings are going to be made with bubble dough from the Patreon bubble dough recipe, and that recipe, I'm thinking once I get through summer, I need some warmer weather to kind of test and see how it does in warmer weather, but I would say that it is about 90%. There's still some tweaking I would need to do on it, but I would say it's about 90% ready to be released to the general public. So our Patreon followers have been awesome and have helped me do a lot of the kind of like testing and looking at it and testing it and trying it. So I would say it's like almost ready to be released. So if that's something that you have been waiting on, just get ready. I want to have at least two versions. I want to have a version that is without fragrance and one with fragrance. So that's one of the things I was working on. And then I just need to see how it does in warm weather. This looks pretty bloody and messy right now, which with all this red mica that's in here, I ended up just using Firecracker. I didn't add that ruby red in there like I was going to. With all the mica that's in here, plus the oils, that's one of the reasons, like, I'm really glad that this basic drizzle exists. Like, I love this basic drizzle recipe. So, just saying is all. Okay. That looks pretty good. I'm gonna start the second drizzle. So the first one, that was Amanda's basic drizzle. This is the quick and thick drizzle. So I'm gonna pop it in the microwave and then I'm gonna show you these toppings. Okay, are you ready? Okay, so I used bubble dough and I created some pepperonis, some black olives, these little strips, I'm thinking bell pepper, so maybe like do like a couple little strips of bell pepper, and I have mushrooms. How cute is that gonna be? I have for a long time. Oh, are we back? Are we still doing this? Okay. For those of you who stayed and hung through that, thank you. I appreciate that. I don't know if you guys saw. Okay, we have pepperonis, we have olives, we have some little bell peppers, and we have some mushrooms, and these are all made out of bubble dough from our bubble dough Patreon bubble dough recipe. If you are in the Patreon group, they were made with the bubble dough 2.2, which is the one that you guys have right now. I'll let that go for just a little bit longer. So this is the one, that's the one that you have. It's, to me, it's the best one so far. I thought about taking some white and making like a few little pieces of stray cheese. So I don't know. Maybe when this is over. Kathy says we're back. I know. Thank you so much. I'm so sorry. It's been so frustrating. I have a couple videos because like I couldn't get online, and like I really have, like, it's hard for me to get online at all right now. I can kind of get online, but it's very, very slow. So I've like recorded a couple videos and I was like, oh, I'll just upload those and edit them. Can't upload. It's like, hello Robyn, you can't upload. So just been making more videos then, I guess. All right, let me grab this out of here. And move that one aside. Move this one right here. And we will add the stuff for this one. So, yeah. Kathy says, don't be sorry. I know, but, you know, I appreciate that, but I still, like, I still feel bad. I totally, like, it's anyway. It has been real interesting, but honestly, we were super fortunate. We lost a fence. That was it. We lost a fence. I had gone to the school, the junior high, to pick up my younger son because we saw the forecast was bad, and knew it was gonna be bad. There was actually tornadoes in the forecast, but like we've only had one, maybe two tornadoes in the entire time I've lived here, and they were tiny, like just kind of like tore the roofs off of like carports, like nothing major. So I was like, yeah, you know. So, but I left a little bit early to go pick my son up because I just figured better safe than sorry. And got to the school, sent my husband a video of the line of parents. I was like one of the first parents there, but by the time I got there, like out the door, people were coming out the door. Sent him that video, and then literally like about 30 seconds to a minute later, I couldn't see it because I'm short, but the other people in the kind of foyer area with lightning strike. Other people saw lightning strike the thing. There was like sparks and everything, and it was like, oh no, we felt the pressure drop, our ears popped. Then we were like, hey, you guys that are outside should probably come inside. It's green outside. We just felt the pressure drop. So everybody got inside, and then literally within, you know, a minute, it just kind of went nuts. All the power went out. We were at the school. It was madness. So, and the tornado literally passed like right in front of the door. So I was nosy and was like filming it because I was like, how often do you get to see a tornado? Not that often. So anyway, so this one I'm just gonna leave white because it's cheese. It can just stay white. If your drizzle ever seems like dull or seems to get spots, I highly encourage stirring. Stirring is gonna give you, so what happens when cocoa melts is that the cocoa butter has to recrystallize, and there's like different levels of recrystallization that happens, and if it's not stirred as it's going, sometimes you get those white spots in chocolate. I believe it's called fat bloom. I typically call it stearic bloom because I know it is the stearic acid. Also sounds less like rude. Holly says that we're back. Yay. I'm so glad that you guys are back. And for the people that are hanging around, I am like super appreciative because I know it's probably going in and out. So, yeah. Anyway, it was very close. And then, so they couldn't find the kids to pick up the kids from school because the entire system is run online. So they didn't know, like there was like probably 40 or 50 parents that were already there. After the tornado passed, they had any other parents kind of waiting outside. And they could not find our kids. So they were trying, like walking through the halls, like yelling kids' names, trying to find, and they're like, do you know what class your kid has? 6th period. No, I don't. Do you? No, I don't know. He has 6th period. Like, I don't even know what classes he's taking. What are you talking about? So it was a little bit chaotic, but on the drive home, we started kind of getting like, whoa. So we have two main, I live in a tiny town. I live in Houston, but it's like on the outskirts of Houston. Okay, here, our cheese is ready. I'm a toppings on top of the cheese kind of person. I don't know about you, but that's what I am. Anyway, so as we were leaving the school was when we kind of had our first, like, this is bad because we couldn't get down Center Street, which is the main street in our town, is like Main Street. Couldn't get down Center Street. Then went down Luella, which is like a parallel street to Center Street, and could not get down that street. So, and I just like, as we got closer and closer, then I couldn't call my husband. He couldn't call me. I knew that my husband and my older son had been home together. So I was like, what happened to them? Are they okay? I also felt really bad because we got quail. I'm a farmer now. Oh my God. We got quail, and my husband had been like, do you think we should bring the quail and put them in one of the dog kennels and put them in the garage? And I was like, no, they're going to be fine. It's just going to be a storm. Then I felt really bad because I was like, oh my God, my baby birds. I left them outside to fend for themselves. Okay, how cute is this? Let's start adding our toppings. So each one's going to have 1 pepperoni, 1 olive, a shroom, and we're just going to do, I think this should be a little bit smaller, a bell pepper there, and a bell pepper down here. This is the cutest thing I've seen in a long time. Oh my God. I'm freaking out over this. Okay, let's keep going. Okay. And hopefully it lasts, and hopefully, the internet stays or whatever. Okay, so I like the quick and thick drizzle because it's really easy to control the drips on it. So I'm able to really control what's going on with it. I'm going to try to put all the little pizza toppings in the same general area, just so that if somebody were to get, I don't know, one of these for their multiple children's that they might have, that they would kind of match, because I know how kids are. They want their stuff to match. Oh my God. So we've done Pizza My Heart projects many times. I believe one of the mini boot camps, the mini boot camp, like the Father's Day one that we did. I know we had Pizza My Heart projects in that one. So I've done Pizza My Heart for a while. I feel like it is a really fun kind of alternate Valentine's project for people who maybe aren't as into Valentine's, or if you are afraid that you're going to have product left over and you don't want to have like a bunch of Valentine's projects, like product left over after Valentine's Day that you can't sell, right? So this would be a really good way to leverage that, and then it goes right into Father's Day, so it totally works out. I might have to end up making another batch of this quick and thick. I think I maybe underestimated how much it would take, but we'll see how much I get out of it. I hope you can see from your angle. Oh, it looks so cute. And this is so much faster than painting every little detail on these, because like I made them and then they kind of have sat on the shelf for a while because I was like, I just don't want to take all the effort to paint them. They're so detailed when they don't have anything on them. So I feel like this is a good alternate. And then you could top these with, like, say you do this project, right? You could top this with, you could put purple onions. I thought about doing purple onions. I thought about doing some anchovies. I thought about doing pineapple and Canadian bacon, because I will fight a person who says that pineapple doesn't belong on pizza. You're wrong, and you know you're wrong. It does go together, salty and sweet. I don't know why people fight it so much. It's just, it's inevitable. Like, they go together, okay? Tina says, your husband has a pizza shop and these are awesome, right? I love food-themed bath bombs. In my experience, anytime I've done like food themes, like my best-selling set I ever did was a breakfast set. So there's just, and then like the food stuff always does really well. There's just something about it. If you do this and you don't use our recipe, that's fine. I will include links in the top in case you do want to use a recipe. If you don't want to use a recipe, that's fine, but I would encourage you to add some surfactant of some kind into your drizzle. I'm sorry for snuffling. Into your drizzle, just because this is a lot of drizzle to have on top of a bath bomb. It's really loaded on there. And in just a second, I will lift this tray up and show you how it looks. Look how good these look. Oh my gosh. Isn't this fun? So I think I might have started to say this and then the connection dropped. I've wanted to do a build your own pizza set for a while, and I could never think of like how could I get the toppings to my customers. So I may create a little set with that now just to see how that would work. And of course, if I do that, Patreon's probably are going to be the people who see it first. If I end up doing that though, I might like do a a blog post or something like that. I don't know. We'll see. I ran out of drizzle, but it's okay because this is 8 pizzas, but I actually have 8 more over there that need to be finished. So I'll just include this one in my next round when I finish those other ones. But look how freaking cute these are. And the bubble dough stays soft. I don't want to ruin that. Hold on. I have a chunk right here. The bubble dough, and then I dropped it, so I can't use it. The bubble dough stays soft. So it's hard right now because I prepped it. This was prepped December 16th, so it's pretty hard. This chunk is pretty hard. The heat of my hands is enough to, after I work it for a minute, to warm it up, and then it's moldable and malleable, and then I can treat it like soap dough. So if you are a soap maker and you have experience with soap dough, you can treat it like soap dough. I am working on kind of the last, and I may not be able to nail this, but kind of the last goal that I'm looking at. The last goal I'm looking at is to make it extruder friendly. So it kind of can be extruded. Let me show you one I made with an extruder disc set. So, I got these from Jennifer's Soaps. This was like a 5-piece extruder disc set. These are very hard. They were made quite a long time ago. So you can use an extruder disc set, but they don't take super fine details very well. This is a different version than that version. And I used it's like a crank thing for Play-Doh that was a prototype from one of the makers that they sent me. So I want to try this thing with a couple more recipes. Like that one came out really clean, but like some of them aren't as clean. Like that one's not quite as clean, right? So that's kind of what I'm looking at fixing in the recipe. But as you can see, it's really moldable. You can do a lot of things with it. So yeah, this eventually will come out to you guys. I want to say probably this summer. It'll be available for like everybody, but we just gotta finish running it through its paces, which it's doing pretty good. So I'm excited about it. But yeah, anyway, I'll post finished pictures of these probably tomorrow. And that's all I have for today. I'll also post links in the description. So if you have questions like, where did I get the mold? I don't remember, but I'll look it up for you guys. Can you get the recipes? My shirt, you like my shirt? I'll put that a link for all that in the thing where you can get everything. So thanks for hanging out with me today. Thanks for hanging in there through the unstable connection. And as always, happy making.